Good morning. It's Monday, and no, I am sorry, I am not Liz today. It is me, Hadrien Chatelet. If you don't know me, I'm as well an Adobe expert talking to you about Adobe Express. Liz couldn't make it today, and I'm very pleased and glad to replace her just for today. But don't worry, she will be back next week for more fun. So this week, what are we gonna talk about? We're gonna talk because the holidays are coming and we need to prep ourselves. Some holidays, maybe some of you are already in holidays, so please let me know if you're already in holidays. And I wanted to help you to transform your average postcard to something extraordinary with very fun and funky look. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about postcard today. So if you do not know me today, my name is Hadrien Chatelet. I am, yes, French indeed. I have just moved back from France after 20 years in London. Maybe you know me or not. I love colors. I'm dyslexic, and I'm as well on the side a branding expert. If you want any tips and fun fact about design and fun inspiration, creative thing, please follow me at Adrien Chatelet in any type of social media, especially Instagram. So that's for the boring part. Let's move that on the side. Let's start about what we're going to talk. I have this morning downloaded a couple of really beautiful postcards, the one you normally find everywhere in your holiday trips. And if you're like me, a bit fed up of, or simply you don't like cats, maybe you like cats, but maybe you don't want cats in all your postcard pictures, or like something it doesn't really represent you yourself, know where you've been and what you've seen. Well, today we're gonna have fun then, because I'm gonna show you how to turn just your standard picture that you take on holiday to something really cool, ready to be sent to your friend, to your lovers, to your family, and to anyone you would like to send postcard to. First of all, before doing this type of exercise, I don't know if Liz had told you or show you how to do, but it's really good to start with a mood board. So what is mood board is like you go online or even magazine or outside or collect postcard and you start thinking, what type of style you like? How do you want to do it? How can I get inspired? Because you might not be designers or you might think your creativity is a bit lower. So let's have fun. Let's have fun and discover some style, get inspired, and really helping ourselves to see what we're going to do. So that's what I've done this morning when I prepared this live. I went online and I'm like, oh, those styles are really fun. It's a bit of retro look, but at the same time work really well. And I'm sure you have seen this couple of like example of Western Western at the moment reworking this kind of ideas and feeling and look and feel. So that's what we're doing today. I love like the welcome home. The fact that you can see the picture within the font, I think that work really well, and I'm gonna show you how we can do that quite easily in Adobe Express. And as well, the tone of the picture. Look at all those pictures; they have like a grain of feeling into it that really inspired me. And on the top right color, the out of office, I think it's brilliant. It's just like really simple, like it's just changed from what you normally see in any postcard. So we're gonna see that as well, how we can do it, and how we can do it really easily on Adobe Express. So let's do action now. It's time to go to swap and jump right into our Adobe Express. So we're at Adobe Express. This is our dashboard. This is normally you should be quite familiar with that if you are not already. This is how Adobe Express look like and what you can do with it. So we're gonna simply go to the plus button in top right corners to start a new design. I'm gonna go to custom sized graphics just to show how we can be extremely precise if we want to. Earlier, I looked at the exact size of postcard to make sure we bang on and look really real. So we're gonna do our custom size. I'm gonna change pixel by millimeters because I'm French and I use millimeters and not inch. I'm sorry. Uh, and we are going to enter the width with 148 millimeters. Yes, I'm not doing any mistakes. And the height would be 105 millimeters. And next, ta-da! We have our size postcard. Thank you very much. I love that. We're gonna start with something pretty simple and fun. Let's go to the images. So here I'm going to use the bank of images from Adobe directly because I do not have any actually fun holiday pictures. I look in my phone. I'm terrible. I'm not taking pictures, and my wife hates me for that. I'm sorry. Probably you're the same as me. But so we're just going to go ahead and look at a picture here. And for that, I'll just write portrait holiday. If you just only write holidays, you just have plain picture of like mountain or architectures and stuff. So portrait of holidays is great. Let's scroll and just find something that kind of work. I don't want to take something too nice either to show you that you can literally take any of your pictures and just use it for that. And let's do that. Look, this one is quite fun. That's something that we can do ourselves. It's like a selfie, classical selfie look I'm trying to do. And actually, in a fun way, I'm going to be hyper French and critical here. She might have tried to have the beach discerning behind her, but it's basically mostly her face and her arm. So that's definitely a picture I could do. So for that, we just gonna go to add to background. Simply, I want this picture to take the full space of my postcard. Add to background. Thank you very much. So this image is nice, but I don't know if you remember. I'm gonna place it nicely. Great. But what we liked about the inspiration we had is this kind of grain, this aspect of feeling a bit like Wes Anderson, a bit more light wash, a bit more the color, a bit more warmer. So let's do it. It's some a very simple filter you can use on Adobe Express that will work. So we click on our background, we go to filter, and we're simply gonna go to a matte filter. And the first click is good. We can as well go to enhancements and potentially add look, add the contrast automatically. That will just create a more define, create more definition within the picture. We can as well bring a bit of brightness into this picture, not too much. It's going to be a bit strange. I think it's good. You could go with the warmth, but I think it's going to be a bit too much. So we're going to keep the warmth to 0. Thank you very much. So now we have a picture that we took that now look much nicer, much more warmer. And for that, now we're gonna do some a bit of a styling, really simple styling that create this aspect of kind of retro postcard you have, is to simply create a frame around it. A simple frame, nothing like fancy, not too crazy. So for that, I'm just gonna go to my shapes and I'm gonna select a simple shape, basic shape, very important that is basic shape of a square. Now I have a square in the middle of my frame. I will simply unclick fill and automatically create a border. I like this kind of beige, but I just want something a tiny bit more orange. So I'm just gonna go there and bring more orange. And I think we are fairly good. Up, and I'm gonna now make sure that I'm going all the way up. It takes a bit of time to just make sure you're right. We could make the border a touch thicker, not too thick, if it's going to be strange, and not too thin, because after it doesn't create the effect, a bit of a retro look effect. Okay, I think that's great. Ooh, look, we can see a bit more picture, so I need to extend slightly. Yeah. Fantastic. Look, we have our frame. Good. Now we're going to write a message. What about writing with love? With love from India, for example. Let's pretend that we're in India. We're going to add the text. I'm just simply going to write with capital with love, right? With love, center line. We're going to make it really big. Here, we're going to find potentially a font that are a bit more expressive than that. You can obviously spend a bit of time to look for the font. I'm just straight away gonna write the one I want because I will show you later something a bit more funny and I want to keep my time. Next are Rust. And I'm gonna go to the slab and just the black one. I like this. The style of this font is not perfectly straight on certain letters, so it creates a bit of a grunginess. I really enjoy that. So now we want to make sure this font is really standing out to any picture I put on the back. So to make sure a font or a typeface will always stand up and you can always read it, the best way is to create some kind of like a shape around it or something that's gonna make a high contrast between the picture behind and the front. If we keep like that, if I use it a dark color, when the image can be dark, I won't be able to read it. And if I use a light color, and and when the image is light, I won't be able to read properly the text. So for that, I will simply gonna change the color inside to text a size a bit more yellow, darker yellow. That work. Then I'm gonna simply create an outline. And for that, I think I'm gonna create a white outline simply and make a bit thicker, not too thick. And I'm gonna create a drop shadow as well to it. And instead of straight away go to shadow here, I'm simply gonna duplicate my text. I'm gonna make sure my outline is the same color that the shadow I want. Thank you. And I'm just gonna move this underneath my previous text. So now we have one. We could actually, to make it a more realistic shadow, go a darker color. And the same way for the text, we're gonna use the darker color we just used. That's worked really well. We're gonna simply group this text, which is there, and now we're gonna write our next text from India, and we're gonna say, write our name, Laura, for example. Let's pretend that she's called Laura. Great. Up. But obviously that's not the font you may want to use. We're gonna use it white. And I want something a bit more personal. There's nothing more personal than the handwriting font. What do you think? So we're gonna change this font to handwriting. I do enjoy, you can scroll here and find your font by yourself, but something I really like on Adobe Express is to go simply to more font, and then you can select by category. So we're gonna go to cursive, and look, we have different handwriting. This one is actually quite fun. Look at that. I love it. It's really working really well, that. And now I'm gonna just do a tiny detail before moving to the next design. We want to give this kind of vintage retro look of a postcard you just been sent, right? So we have some element of like stamp or those kind of wavy pattern that normally are stamped by the post when you send the postcard. So let's see if we can find any of that. So I'm gonna go to design and shape, and I'm gonna say stamps. Oh, look at that, it's just there. Is it not fantastic? So you have other stamps, but I really like those type of lines. So I'm gonna click on it and look, I'll put it here. And it does really the effect of if my postcard would just been stamped on the way there. I love it. All right, so now we're gonna do a new one, even more funnier one. So I'm just gonna use this frame. I like the frame. Sorry, I'm just gonna use this template because I like the frame around it, and I don't want to restart from scratch. So simply, instead of creating a new page, I'm just gonna duplicate this page. I'm pretty sure you know that. So now I'm just gonna select my image and we're gonna replace it. And I have, no, that's not the, I want the image. So if you can't select the image, go to the layer functionality and we go click the background. Now we're gonna replace. And I'm gonna upload an image that I found online earlier and was make me laugh. Pimp your postcard. If you like the title of this video today, I have a lot of fun to find it. If you like, please let me know in the comment. If you don't like as well, please let me know in the comment. So we wait a bit, and now it's going to replace the image. Magic. And something quite interesting, and I really enjoy, is the effects that we created earlier on the background, the picture is automatically added on to this one. So I don't have to do it again. And that's actually quite useful. I just want to have the image. You see, I selected my background. I've moved the frame around because it kind of get caught all the time. So I select my background. I add a tiny bit of zoom in order to slide down and see a bit more my image. I think that's great. Now I'm gonna move. So we're gonna do the effect where we can see the line. First of all, I'm gonna change simply this text ungroup, and I'm gonna write out of office. I think that was really fun. Out of office. We're gonna use justified option So like that, everything's justified to the left and right. We're gonna make it much bigger. Up. Keep that, that's nice. And we're gonna find a really bold font that's just really, sorry. Okay, that do happen sometimes, just come back. Good. Now, yes, I want a very bold font. So let's go to our typeface again. We'll go to more font, and we're gonna go to, I think, funky font. And I like the font called Beastie. Where are you? Beastie 48 point. I really love this one. It's really, really, really fun. It does give me a lot of joy, to be honest. We're gonna keep the outline. I think it's great. But the outline, I'm gonna make it white. Okay, perfect. It's good. What we're gonna do now, we're just gonna outline, yes, and I'm just gonna transparent text. So that's really fun. Look at that. Now you have the transparent, but it does get lost. So we're gonna do something. What time is it? Yeah, exactly. Good time to it. So first of all, I'm gonna duplicate my type. So the title is good. Just duplicate it. Now we're gonna change the color scheme. Instead of yellow, I'm gonna go to some kind of a light pink. Yeah, that's a great light pink. Like that, maybe a bit lighter for having this kind of warmth effect. Now I'm gonna go back to my duplicated text is here, and I'm gonna change the color and the outline with the light pink. Tack, thank you very much. And the text the same. This is where the trick is coming. Up. Sorry, transparent text. Okay. That's good. But what we wanted to do earlier is to be able to see the image on the back. And for that, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna bring the image in the front of this, between those two letters. So for a minute, I'm gonna detach. I'm gonna duplicate 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna select them all. Without this one, thank you very much. Tack, tack. Extend to the max. The last one, I'm gonna put it behind the frame. It's good. Now, one by one, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna crop the shape to make sure it's going just behind my word. Up. Up, you can see I'm just doing out right now. Out. Back. Out. 1. Okay. Now we're going to do the next one. It will be off. If you're watching live right now, please let me know on the chat. The chat is accessible if you're on the Beyond's platform, so beyonds.net/Adobe Live. You will see me in live, and you can access the chat on the left side that I can see on my right eye, my right eyes, and you can tell me what you think about that. Do you like the style of it? Have you already done something similar to that? Have you already created some custom postcard for yourself? And how they work? So now you see I've done behind, and I'm just simply gonna move them up above, between basically the drop shadow of the text and the front text outline. And look at this effect. What do you think about that? We can obviously be a bit more precise. You can see here, I can see the O. So if I select again this one, and I duplicate again, make sure it's right bang on the middle. Thank you very much. And what I will do, the background, crop again, and I will just use the U and the T. Thank you very much. And for this one, the O, I simply gonna crop the shape, go to the O, and instead of keeping a square a mask, I'm gonna go to a circular mask, and then you have to zoom a bit. Make sure you do that right. Thank you very much. And up. And you can basically do that very precisely. But look at that. It's not so fun. And if you want to change the color of the line, very simple. Go to your filter, duotone, and I'm just simply gonna put in white. Ooh. Look at that. I absolutely love it. Out of the office, picture of you in 2 seconds. Look at the effect we've created here. Be inside the letter. So just to recap how I've done this effect from India, Laura, I love that. You can keep that. So to recap, I simply use a font, my font here, and I created an outline. And in the option of outline, I click transparent text. That means that the text inside, not the outline, disappear and you can see through it. So any image is behind it, you will be able to see it. And to create this effect of mask, meaning the title, the text you have wrote to create the max, you'd simply have to black out the around it. So if I were to delete this image for a minute here in the background, just gonna delete, you will have this the feeling that it's literally inside the letters because I wrote it, I put it just behind that. I'm just gonna go back because that's much nicer this way. So again, you can go and really fine tuning by duplicating more often this image to make sure each letters are the sharpest, and you won't be able to see any of the corners, and you will have this amazing effect. So I really enjoy that. Tell me what you think in the description, in the comments. What do we have to remember for today? So I like to have that. I'm sorry, I don't know if Liz do it or not, but I like to make you do. So in order to create a really funky postcard effect that look a bit retro and fun, go to the filter aspect and apply a matte filter. That automatically will enhance your picture and make it look much warmer, much more yeah, you have this kind of, it's not so vintage, but definitely this Western Western kind of trendy look you have. And it will help for any of the picture because we're not all born photograph. I'm a really good designer, but picture is not my forte. So to have the choice to straight away apply a filter that make it just look much warmer, much nicer, lighter, the light is much neater, is great. You can add to go to enhancement filter and add potentially a bit of contrast, play around with the brightness as well, sometimes a bit too dark or too bright. Just make sure it's all feel a bit better to your eyes. That's first thing you need to do. Secondly, play with the borders. You can see as soon as I create a simple border, so I went to the basic shape, just selected borders, and then so I have empty fill. I don't fill with the color inside, I just keep the border. And that give a bit of a sense, again, this retro look is not this kind of modern full bleed image. You create a border, and that kind of creates some kind of more classy look, a bit more like timeless feeling to the postcard. So it worked really, really well. Lastly, and not lastly, quite important, use a pastel color palette. You can see everything I used so far was like a light pink, a light yellow, nothing too acid, nothing too vibrant. You want to merge those color palette with as well the filter you put to your images. If it's just too vibrant, all the text and the graphic element you will put on the top will just take over and you won't see the image on the back, and you really want to keep the focus on the image, obviously. Lastly, select an impactful font. You see the font we went to look for, like the last one, really bold and really personal and unique type. That was really that's gonna stand out. If you just use a plain, really simple, clean font, it would be very smart, but it won't stand out. And summer holiday, it needs to be fun. It's about splashing the water. It's about making some meeting, discovering new elements, new area in the world, and just really give this sense of fun. And if you want to push one step further, for example, if you go in Asia, or if you go to Europe, or if you go to America, there is some typeface that are more likely to represent those type of countries. So have fun and have a discover as well. Go into Adobe Express and discover. I don't know if you remember how I done it. I just click on the drop down menu for the fonts and the typeface, and then totally at the bottom you have more fonts. And when you click on that, you arrive to a new window, a new menu where everything style store by style and categories. And that's so much easy to go find. It's like, okay, I want a funky look, or I want like a calligraphic, or I want something more old school, or you will be able to have this kind of filter effect that's gonna save you time. If not, you're just gonna scroll forever to find the right font. So that's a good tips I want to give you. And lastly, and not the least, please, please, please have fun. Be creative, have fun. Adobe Express is so easy, so many like filters and effects and graphics. Look, I wanted to give a bit of an effect with those wave, like a stamp or school stamp. I just went on the graphic and I wrote stamp, and here you come. I had some choice. So really have fun with it. You enjoy that a lot. Now, what's happening today? So, as I say, next week, Liz will come back, and later today at 2 p.m., you will have. I'm sorry, I'm going to try to do my best because that's not normally my line. You will have all about illustration using Photoshop using with Pound Pan. So I never met him, and that sounds very exciting. And you will have much more live to come on Beyond.net all week long. Have fun. I was really, really happy to have you today on this Monday morning, Bank Holiday Monday morning. I hope you're having a really great time. Maybe you're having a good time with the family, a bit outdoor. Just enjoy enjoy your Monday and have an amazing week. And I hope to see you anytime soon on the UK live of Adobe Live. Thank you very much. Have a lovely Monday. Bye bye.
Earlier this year in a small New York City bar,